What's happening? What's happening? Hold up. Fuck these up. Oh, my goddamn battery's gone. What the fuck are they? That's crazy. I had a shitload of them. Motherfucking battery's just gone. It's crazy how you be having shit just sitting there and then all of a sudden it just disappeared. It's fucking weird. I know I had AAA's in here somewhere. That's crazy. I'll never be out of those. I don't even use them. That is, give me a second, y'all. Can y'all hear me? I'm gonna come check the chat to see if y'all can hear me. I need some fucking batteries though, man. It's crazy. That's weird as fuck. Huh. What's happening? Welcome to Corner Store Podcast. It's your boy OMD300. Looking for fucking AAA batteries. And I had a ton of them. That's crazy. And I don't lose shit. I pride myself on not losing anything. Can you guys hear me? Let me know in the chat if you can hear me. Welcome to Corner Store Podcast. No episode numbers. What's up? Chilling. Let me know if you can hear me, Miss T. Mert. Shout out to the country of France, because you got people. Yeah, I'm okay. Why? What the fuck you mean? Why are you asking if I'm okay? Hello? Chat going slow or something. Because you asking me if I'm okay like I was dying or some shit. Do I look like I'm fucking sick or something? Hello? Anyway, welcome to Corner Store Podcast. Yeah, I mean, what made you ask that? What made you ask if I was okay? Do I sound like I'm not okay? That shit is crazy, though, that I don't see not one battery up in here. Not one. So I gotta go get more fucking batteries. That shit crazy. It's always something to buy, bro. This fucking world is crazy. Anyway, welcome to Corner Store Podcast. I hope the camera is showing me well, because it looks like it's kind of like foggy or something. There we go. What's going on? I hope everybody's doing well out there in the world. Another episode of Corner Store Podcast where the truth is told and bullshit can be thrown out the fucking window. We don't play around like that. Fuck all the bullshit. We talk about real shit here, and there's real shit going on out there. Facts. First thing we're going to talk about, and it's crazy because I want to do my little sound effects and shit, but I need a fucking battery. But I actually was going to do this podcast on Ventura Boulevard at a well-known restaurant Oh, I'm fine. Yeah, I was wondering because you scared me like you saw some shit or something. I don't know. But anyway, I was gonna do this podcast on Ventura Boulevard at a little restaurant across the street from where I had an appointment. I thought about doing a. Wait a minute, this shit's not working. Okay, now it's working. Now all of a sudden this shit is working. This shit weird. Can y'all hear me? Can you hear me now through the microphone? Because for some reason that shit wasn't working. That's fucking crazy. What did I do with them fucking batteries? God damn, now I done threw them fucking batteries away and didn't have to. Shit. Okay, here's one. Nasty digging through the fucking trash. This is disgusting. Yeah, shit. Oh, fuck it. That's nasty. Can you guys hear me? Yeah, anyway. Fucking mic keeps getting muffled and shit. Damn, it's just a weird ass day. But I'm gonna, like I said, I'm gonna do my content. I don't give a shit what's going on. But that's what they make dollar stores for, so you can go get batteries and shit like that. But anyway, like I said, I was gonna do my podcast on Ventura Boulevard in Encino, California, out here in the valley. But I decided to do it here at the house. Just felt like getting back from where I was. The crazy thing that's going on right now, and I hate to be but I'm just trying to fix my mind to what I'm about to say. So instead of doing that, I'll just give you some context, some video context or voice context of what I'm talking about.
If Paul really died.
And here is that sound right now. It's Miss T. Murray. You from Los Angeles. You're from Paris, France, and Mario Macron is you guys president or prime minister or whatever you guys call y'all leaders over there. And I can understand, you not understanding what's going on over here in the States as far as politics is concerned. But I'm gonna tell you right now, man, there's some crazy shit going on right now over here in the States. And this is one of the things.
An investigation is underway after the home of a South Carolina judge went up in flames over the weekend. It happened in Edisto Beach, about an hour south of Charleston. The home is owned by Judge Diane Goodstein, who serves as the state circuit court. Officials say 3 people were injured in the fire, including Goodstein's husband, former Democratic State Senator Arnold Goodstein. Judge Goodstein made news last month after issuing a ruling blocking South Carolina from handing over millions of voters' personal data to the Department of Justice. An investigation is underway after the...
Now, that sounds like some bullshit from World War II, fascist Germany, where Hitler and people of his ilk, and when I say ilk, people like him, from Mussolini to Stalin in Russia and other Hirohito, even in Japan at one time. Japan was a country that was kind of staunch in their approach about government and also trying to keep their borders closed back in the 1940s, hence them aligning themselves with Hitler and Mussolini and Stalin and trying to take on the world in World War II. But it's actually gotten to the point in the United States where if a dude like Trump is in office, and I hate to talk about bro, but I'm talking about him in the regards of how it's going to affect us as regular citizens. I don't know how people are over in Europe, because I got a lot of Europeans, a lot of Africans, a lot of Australians, New Zealanders, and people around the world who fuck with my channel and watch Corner Store podcasts and other content. But I will say this. They're not going through the same shit we are. They may be going through worse things. But then again, America's never had to deal with bullshit like this where you got a guy in there who actually thinks he's a fucking king or some kind of fascist leader. This motherfucker had something. The judge ruled against you, bro. And someone, whether it was a regular citizen or somebody from the interior of the government, an agent or anybody, they set this woman's house on fire and almost killed her family. She happens to be white. So it's not about color, it's about power. They're using all of this bullshit rhetoric about losing the country as a weapon to subvert authority, subvert the laws that were created here, and to fuck with people majorly. Majorly. Even judges are not oblivious to the bullshit that goes on with this guy. This don't even make any sense. So you mean to tell me judges ain't even safe? The people who, who judge and preside, a lot of them deserve some of the shit that's happening to them. Now, the only reason why I say that is because there's some judges out there who are racist as hell, and they'll put 20, 30, 40, 50 years on a black person for and hell, there was a kid that just what about the guy who just raped some pastor, just raped, but had been raping his girl for years. Do you know that man got 10 years and they gave him 6 months? He SA'd people, SA'd her when she was a child, and they only gave him 6 months. If that had been a black pastor, that man would be in jail 30 years. They just gave Diddy 4 years for not doing nothing. Now, I will say this. Diddy got put in jail because he actually thought that he had gotten so big and so powerful that he could do and say and fuck with people, like he's some kind of Don or something. That's one of the problems of African Americans. And I ain't speaking against my people in that way. I love my people, but we be fucking up. We not like them. We not white. We have to hold ourselves to a higher standard. And even if we was in a black country, even if it was totally black country, to where the government was black, everything, we'd still have to hold ourselves to a higher standard than other countries. Not because we want them to think of us at a certain way, because that's the fucking right thing to do. Be a leader. If we was a black nation and we had a Diddy in that nation that was running some mega record label in Uganda or wherever the fuck you could consider a black country, we should be above reproach in every aspect, because first off, they don't like our skin, period, for whatever reason. If we were the first people, or for whatever reason the motherfuckers hate us, they hate us. That's number one. Number two, we should do this just for the standard of us being, honorable and forthright and brave, and defend ourselves, defend our countrymen, defend our wives and children, and stay in a place where you can make up all the shit you want, but none of it's true, because we do what we do. We're respectable, wonderful people. But if you're going to be like Diddy and work your ass off to get to the point, I don't know how much he worked. We know the little story behind him in Uptown and Howard University and the whole thing, his little life. But we also know this too. You don't work your ass off and go through the ranks just to get up there and act like you so, because you done made these millions of dollars, you could treat and act like, don't act like them. Because that's all you're doing. You're acting like the people that you worse than the character on Django, Sam Jackson's character, when you're a black person and you know the struggles we've been through and you know what we've had to deal with. And you get to a point where you get millions and then you start going to the country clubs and feeling like you're accepted. Watch what they do to their wives, their girlfriends behind closed doors, and then you mimic that bullshit. Because when you get exposed for being a fucking weirdo, guess what's going to happen? They're going to put your ass in jail. They're going to indoctrinate you. They're going to drag your name through the mud. And the same people that you was all lovey-dovey with, trying to act like and be like and treat people like, are going to look down on you and say, I wasn't his friend. If they can do to Epstein, they can do that to Epstein, who was one of theirs. They can do it to you, dumb. And if you know they can do it to you, you know that they can burn up a judge's fucking home because she ruled against him. Donald Trump, that is. I hate mentioning bro's name. The fact that he not only won the first time and then came back around, however he won, whether it was a legal win or a bullshit win, he's in that office and he's going nuts. Absolutely fucking crazy. Absolutely fucking crazy. That's what dude is doing. And it's so it's so egregious, the disparaging difference between living here as a minority, black, Hispanic, Asian, than it is. And the funny thing is, the ones they accept from those nationalities, uh, they seem to think, just like I was saying about Diddy, they seem to think because they get around the people that they've always felt like they need to be around in order to be successful, it'll shield them from being stupid as fuck. And I'll tell you what I mean by that after this sound right here.
We are following some breaking news right now. Indianapolis police have arrested former NFL quarterback and Fox television analyst Mark Sanchez after sources tell us he attacked a 69-year-old man in downtown Indianapolis early this morning. Well, that victim fought back and stabbed Sanchez in the chest. This all happened at a bar right across the street from the Indiana State House. CBS 4's Gabriela Mirando is near that bar where it all happened and breaks down what we know.
Sanchez was in town to broadcast the Colts versus Raiders game tomorrow with Fox Sports. Police were called to this pub along West Washington Street a little after midnight, say they found Sanchez with a stab wound to the chest and another man badly cut. A trail of blood still stains the alley and the sidewalk here. Our sources tell us the man who stabbed Sanchez told police he was making a food delivery when Sanchez told him he couldn't park in the alley. That delivery driver claims Sanchez then started following him and making threats before attacking him. He says he first used pepper spray against Sanchez, and when that wasn't effective, used a knife to defend himself. Sources say the driver had significant injuries to his face. Sanchez was taken to a local hospital in critical condition and rushed into surgery. Police say he is now stable. The trail of blood goes right in front of Pronta's Pizza, where staff says it was a shock to see this morning.
Again, it's just unfortunate that these type of things are happening in Indianapolis, and specifically such a beautiful downtown area. We have conventions, we have people that visit from outside of the state, and that, what an impression that's going to leave on folks, that visit Indianapolis.
3 misdemeanors: battery with injury, unlawful entry of Sanchez remains hospitalized and has not yet been booked into jail. We're staying on top of this and will continue to update you as we learn more. Reporting downtown, Gabriela Mirando, CBS 4 News.
Gabriela, thank you.
Mark Sanchez, you stupid motherfucker. Yeah, my podcast is gaudy. I use bad language. I love God, but I tell the truth. You a stupid ass. You a stupid ass, and you're drunk. You have a fucking problem. The biggest problem you have is identity. You're not white. You're not. You act white. You live a white existence. You treat people like a white person would by being an alcoholic and telling a guy who's probably made that delivery to that address that you've been to probably only a few times. He's making the delivery at 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning, or whatever time it was, and you're telling him where he's supposed to go, and you have no fucking idea what the fuck you talking about because you fucking intoxicated. And because the man, who was a man, I might add, a real man, someone out there working at 60-something years old, still bringing a truck through an alley to make a delivery so he can go on his way and live his life, and your stupid ass, rich, wannabe white ass, out here drunk after probably having 10, 15 shots and 20 beers, which you shouldn't have had in the first place, and probably was going to try to drive back to your hotel. Trying to tell this man something. The man like, man, mind your fucking business. What are you talking about? And you want to rough him up. And he stabbed the shit out of your ass, as I would have done. I'm 59. And I would have did the same thing to your ass. But you probably wouldn't be alive fucking with me. And I ain't no killer. But what I am is somebody who will kill in order to get a motherfucker off me. There's no way in fucking hell that you not only should reap what you sow, as far as being in the hospital, damn near clinging in intensive care, clinging to life. It's also a fucking goddamn shame that you feel privileged enough to tell this man about where he's supposed to be and go while you're drunk off your ass bullshitting with whoever the hell you was bullshitting with. If what happened to you wasn't one of the most deserved ass situations, I'll never ever fucking know. You deserve everything that happened to you today, Playboy. Mm-hmm. Because you're a fucking idiot with your dumb ass. So I'll say this. There's a big identity crisis going on in the United States to where people don't know who they are. There's a lot of brown people that think they Caucasian. There's a lot of black people that think they're Caucasian. There's a lot of Asians that think they're Caucasian. They'll say, some of them will say, well, no, it's not that. I live in this neighborhood. I wanted to be quiet. Or I've been at this establishment drinking and doing what I'm doing before. Nobody's ever delivered here. What the problem is in this country is everybody's trying to be one thing, and that one thing is broadcast all over TV all the time, and that's the white experience in America. What they broadcast every day is, if you're not acting like the people that so-called run this place or have the highest advantages on this place that supposedly, and they're telling you every day when they have these people go on these pods or make these videos saying, we founded this country, you should be glad. I saw a video the other day saying about black people, white people saying about black people, they said, well, if you wasn't here in America, if we didn't bring you here, you'd be living in a grass hut or a house made out of sticks in Africa. They're fooling you if you think African countries don't have big cities and skyscrapers. They are fooling the shit out of you. There's no country on this planet that does not have in whatever country it is that doesn't have a major metropolitan. Not one. Not one. You can go to every country in Africa, there will be a major city there somewhere. Skyscrapers look like New York, whatever. Some even more metropolitan and more cosmopolitan than some of these sorry ass I don't know why the fuck that shit was ringing. I don't even know why they have put out this narrative that Africa is this place where you can't do this, you can't do that, and it's all a bunch of jungle. It's all bullshit. There's parts of the United States that there's nothing but wilderness. And that can be said about Africa. There's parts of Africa there's nothing but wilderness. Serengeti, the Congo, the Nile River. There's plenty of places where animals run wild, but those places are just like America. They're fucking parks, national parks. They're wildlife preserves, all of that. And they're just trying to preserve the animals that live in those areas. And yes, some of those animals do stray out of those areas and end up in some of the bigger towns and provinces. They don't end up in the biggest cities. Sometimes they do. But it's just like here. It's just like when you catch a black bear in California in somebody's neighborhood, or a pack of fucking coyotes, or maybe a cougar. It's the same thing. They're fucking fooling you into thinking that the continent of Africa, with all the countries they're in, is backwater and they're running around in loincloths and spears. If you believe that, they have completely fooled you, and you're completely a shut-in, and you have no clue about the fucking world that you live in at all. And you deserve to be ignorant. You deserve to not know about the planet you live on. Because it takes one Google question to find out about all of these cities in the country, in the continent, and countries of Africa, and all of the sky. And let me tell you something. There's a country called Burkina Faso that has a new leader, a young man who's not only turning that country into one of the leading countries in Africa. It's growing every day. Rail systems, subway. The man is going crazy. Not crazy in a bad way, but crazy so to show other leaders in Africa how you can run your country, how you can become just like the West. And he says we don't need help from Europeans or the US or the Canada or any of those provinces. We need no help from them. We will trade with you, but we really don't need your help. We're self-sufficient just like any other culture in the whole world. And I couldn't be more proud of him and his idealism about the future and the roadmap that Africa and all the nations where they're in are on to become more. And that it's scaring other cultures around the world. It's scaring the shit out of them. It is. It's terrifying them. And they should be terrified because they've been oppressing that continent for so long that if they ever get a foothold and because it's not about, and I'm not saying this so they should be worried like they're going to invade. I don't know what's going on in other people that ain't blacks' minds, but we don't give a fuck about you. We don't think about you. We don't want to rob you. We don't want nothing from you. We're a figment of fear in your head from your own fucking imagination. Now, can we be a problem? Can we be to a point where it's like, you guys are hollering uncle? Okay, this has been going on too long. There's too many people died on both sides. We need to come to some kind of resolution. Yes. But black people don't be checking for nobody like that with all the fucked up shit you've done to us. Rape, defecation on bodies, hanging, castrations. We still have not tried to seek revenge. And you still want to fuck with us. You really want to be destroyed. You have everything you wanted. You even during this cycle, this voting cycle, to where you got this president in, no matter how he got in office, he's in. You have the Senate, you have the Congress, you have everything, and you're still fucking mad. Why? Why? Is it not enough that you got pretty much what you wanted? Is it not enough that you got women sitting by the pool with no pool gear on outside the gate, watching minorities have fun at the pool just to come in and say, who are you? Do you have your card? Is it not enough that you can't even drive around without being called names? And then you're the type of people that'll throw a rock, hide your hand, and when somebody finds out it was you, when you get slapped, you holler, oh, I was attacked, when you were the one that you were the aggressor. You're the weirdest. White people are some of the weirdest, most psychotic motherfuckers I've ever known. Not all of you. Not all of you. But the majority of you have real mental issues for whatever reason. Maybe it's the cave beginning you had. Maybe it's dwelling in the Caucasus Mountains for so many years and finally dredging out from the caves and actually seeing sunlight and fresh air. Maybe that's something that just fucked you up. What's up with it, best? Shout out to my homeboy from France. Corner Store Podcast. We in the building. So is my homeboy. France is always represented on Corner Store TV. France is always represented on KSP, Corner Store Podcast, Corner Store Coast to Coast, Corner Store International. You name it, man. I appreciate the people from France. All of my subscribers from all around the world. I appreciate y'all and love y'all. And I'm just trying to keep it real. You guys deal with your own set of problems. You guys deal with your own set of problems in your prospective countries. I can never understand those problems because I live here. I can't understand Mario Macron's French citizens' policies or his policies that he's trying to enact in France. I don't live there. I can't understand my homeboy from Johannesburg, South Africa, about what's going on over there. I don't live over there. But what I can do is express what's going on here. This is the first time a dictatorship has arisen in the United States of America to where people are being black bagged, just like on the fucking movie V for Vendetta. If you've never seen V for Vendetta, go see that fucking movie. You could be at your house one day, just sitting there making a burger or something. Somebody knock on your fucking door. Or you could just be in the bed and you don't know how they got in. They pop the door real quiet, click. Because you know, some of us sleep real hard. Next thing you know, you waking up to a whole bunch of flashlights and them motherfuckers with masks. And they black bag your ass and drag you out of here. And the people in the neighborhood can hear all the commotion and everything. You know what they're going to do? As soon as they see all the guns and the vests, they're going to assume that them motherfuckers is law enforcement. And because I'm a black person, they're going to assume that I did something wrong versus them just breaking in my house and taking me the fuck out of here. That's where we at, everybody. That's where we at as a planet. I don't know what they're doing in Johannesburg, South Africa, New Zealand, Perth, Australia, France, London. I don't know but I know what the fuck they doing over here. So first time for everything, I guess. But it's also going to be a big first time for everything when people start to fight back. When the bullets start flying toward the people doing the oppression, watch how fucking quick they come to the table and say, you know what, we might have been tripping. That's what it's going to take. I hate to say this. I hate to be honest, but you know goddamn well, ain't going to be too many more black people getting hung on the campus of a black university. They hung a brother and hung him on the campus of an HBCU, a historically black college. If you didn't know that, look it up. And then tried to say he hung himself in a suicide. Huh? It's a crazy fucking place. And war, they've been asking for, we're going to have civil war. We're going to have civil war. We're going to have, there's a whole bunch of people trying to start this flame. Laying down the powder line, just like Bugs Bunny and them used to do. You remember the gunpowder on the cartoons where they lay the gunpowder in a line and they light it. That's what the fuck's happening right now. You're laying the foundation for the biggest explosion to happen in the U. And you know what? If I was a country, thank you, Best, man. Shout out to Best. France in the building, man. Just became a member. He's always been a member. He's a co-host on Corner Store Podcast, International Podcast. And for the first time, I just realized that bro hadn't actually became a member. I love you, man. I love you, bro. Appreciate you. And I'm going to tell you right now, see, he just did the sticker, the Monster Mindset. That's that Monster Mindset sticker. You can use those stickers once you become a member. I got a bunch of stickers. The come get some from the store sticker. You know what I'm saying? That's one thing about me being monetized now. It is a pleasure to have people become a member of Corner Store Television. Thank y'all so much. I don't even know what else to say to you, but God bless all of y'all, man. God bless all of y'all. It's greatly, greatly appreciated. It's nothing but love from here, from me to you. I promise you. Yo, this is a crazy country we in, man. And this is the kind of stuff they don't want you to hear right here.
Gang culture wasn't born, it was built. Back in the 60s and 70s, a lot of them were built to protect the community. They were feeding children in the morning and protecting the block at night. But a force like that is a threat to the established order. And the system always has a plan. Everything changed in the 80s. The CIA was exposed for bringing drugs like crack into Black and Latino neighborhoods. At the same time, guns were mysteriously flooding the streets. Suddenly, these groups went from protecting the block to fighting turf wars. The original mission got erased, and being reckless, being a crash out, started to look cool in music, movies, and headlines. That's the playbook. Flood the community, twist the narrative, and make destruction look like culture. The ultimate form of control isn't oppression. It's making a generation believe their own self-destruction is a revolutionary act. Gang culture.
Did you just hear that? They've been using every type of warfare, from psychological to bio warfare. Yeah. Bio warfare in the crack, heroin, crystal, meth epidemics in this country. And a lot of these things that they create usually end up falling in the hands of the oppressor's children. And that's the reason why they went with the war on drugs. When white kids start smoking crack, all of a sudden it was a problem. If it's black people or black children being killed or having heroin or overdoses or whatever, it's not no big deal. And they tell us this stuff. Excuse me. They tell us this stuff all through the music and the films that we look at. In the scene in The Godfather, the original Godfather, where Don Corleone is talking to all of the other Dons that are in the syndicate, and they were talking about whether they should be selling drugs or not. Obviously, the Italians didn't want to mess. The older heads Italians are like, look, man, prostitution, politics, rackets like that, we can fuck with that. But we ain't fuck with the drugs. But then half of the other part of the people wanted to be in the drugs. So when they made the decision in the movie to sell the drugs, where did they say that they were going to sell the drugs? Keep it away from the white kids and the white families. Keep it with the blacks. They all killed themselves anyway. Keep it with the blacks. So it was already a narrative from way, way back that they were going to kill us as much as they possibly could, any way they could. Polluting water sources near black neighborhoods. Making sure there was a liquor store or some kind of bar or somewhere you could fuck off and get drunk and be fucked up. Cedric the Entertainer said this in a stand-up comedy routine he had back in the day. Church, liquor store, Chinese place in a black neighborhood. Church, liquor store, Chinese place. They want you in the church worshiping to a real God. Don't ever let it be said that I don't think God exists. He does. But the way they want you to worship is they want you to worship and stay in one place and just hope that God comes down and saves you. When in essence, when you pray to God, you pray to God for the strength to keep fighting. You pray for God to open up doors so you could create avenues and wonderful situations for you and your family. You know what I'm saying? With faith and no work, it ain't gonna work. So you got to be out there working and hustling, as well as loving God and knowing He's real. Staying away from the booze. They did the same shit to the Indians. The Indians called liquor fire water. It was so many goddamn Indians from back in the day that became alcoholics because of shit like that. I'm telling you, man, it is somebody at the top is one of the most, and we know the motivation. At least I know. I don't know about you, but I know the motivations of most of the wicked things that the top white people who are making all these decisions to fuck with people like this. We know their motivations. It's a dark motivation. You ain't gonna believe this because most people don't believe God or the devil exists. There are people that are working for the dark entity known as Satan in this world. Whether they know it or not, that's who they work for. Because you can't kill a kid, you can't drive people through all of the rhetoric that you create to go and shoot up schools and churches if you don't work for the devil. It's just that simple. For those who don't believe in those things, keep not believing. That's fine. Go live your life. I ain't finna try to teach you nothing. But I will tell you this stuff's not going to stop happening until we pray get this enough strength to fight back. Through every story in the Bible, whether it was David or Solomon or any of these people, there was always some type of war for the salvation and to also be soldiers for God to stop tyranny and evil. That and all the devil has to do is manipulate a king to say, you need more riches, you need to control this world, you need to subjugate. All he has to do is to put those thoughts into a king or a leader's mind, and that leader is going to run with that if he's not of the body. And when I say of the body, I'm talking about the body of Christ and God, to where he's like, I know I have power, and I have to wield that power smart. I have to wield that power honestly, and I have to wield that power to not only run the country, but to help the citizens in said country. Not most leaders ain't doing that. Most leaders are going to gather amongst themselves. They're going to huddle around their riches and all the shit they've taken as a miser would, and they're going to be like, get your ass out the way. And they're not going to help nobody. And that's what this piece of shit is doing up in this office. There's a government shutdown going on right now. All the government workers. I'm a VA. I'm a veteran. I'm a VA recipient. And I can't get nothing now because the government shut down. It's a crazy world we living in, man. It's a crazy world we living in. This is reported by Willie D from Willie D Live. Shout out to Willie D from the Ghetto Boys. He has a real cool podcast. He's on periodically through the day most of the time. He does about 4 or 5 live streams. I don't do that. I probably should be doing what he's doing. He doesn't use a lot of special anything. He just goes on, he puts his phone up and rocks with it. I'm trying to, I'm thinking I'm going to take down everything in my studio as well and revamp my studio, and may not even use that studio anymore, and use it for other things. So I'm not sure. Maybe I'll be in there tomorrow doing some cleaning and figuring out what I'm going to do in there tomorrow. But I'm noticing the people that have a lot more subscribers than I do, and as well as a bigger following, they're not doing all the things I'm doing. It seems like I've wasted a lot of money on a lot of equipment and things that I didn't even need, trying to make my thing look and feel a certain way. When in actuality, all people really give a shit about is what you're saying and who you are. And all the subscribers that I have, either they like what I'm doing or like some of the content I've created, whether it's hip hop related or comedy related. And some of you guys dig what I talk about when it comes to podcasts and things of that nature, because I'm not here just to talk bullshit. This is serious business. I've had Corner Store Podcast episodes where it was a funny show and we were just talking to an artist or a comedian or something like that. But most of the time on here, I'll be trying to bless you guys with how I feel about what's going on. Most of the times I'm going to be on the side of right. I'm sorry, I am. Because right is exactly what the fuck we should be trying to do, especially when it's dealing with taking care of each other, making sure we got leaders that give a fuck about who we are, you know what I'm saying, as citizens, and caring about our children's futures. My son's in the fucking Navy. My son's representing this country as one of its fighting men. I don't want my son going to some unjust war where he end up getting fucking maimed or lose a limb or even worse, get killed over some bullshit. I'm ex-military and I saw a lot of bullshit when I was in there. There's a lot of things that I saw in there that I didn't talk about. This is a wild place. This place, and for Pete Hegseth, that fucker that he made the secretary of the military, now they changed the shit to the Secretary of War, which is fucking hilarious. He had the nerve to stand in front of all of those generals who've worked 30, 40 some odd years to get where they are and tell them they fat. Tell them they can't do PT, all of this bullshit. This fucking country is losing its goddamn mind. I would not be surprised, just like on that goddamn movie, The Rock, when that general took some rogue elite soldiers and took over Alcatraz and said, we're going to release this goddamn toxin on San Francisco that'll kill millions of people unless we get this money. I wouldn't be shocked in real life if all those generals that was at that meeting got together in a private meeting of their own and said, you know what? Let's flip this shit on these motherfuckers. We got all the soldiers. We can tell the soldiers what's going on, have a meeting. And next thing you know, you got a big giant rogue element of military servicemen that's going against all the shit you guys are doing. Y'all tripping. Don't fuck with those soldiers, man. Do not fuck with those soldiers. You guys really want this so-called civil war to start? Keep fucking with the soldiers. It's getting closer and closer. When you got motherfuckers going to military bases, killing people, putting words on bullets and shit. You guys are about to make shit really go crazy in this country. Y'all tripping. Trump them tripping. Don't be surprised, man, if this shit happen. I'm telling you. This is what Willie D said.
What's up, family? Trey Reed, a 21-year-old black student at Delta State University in Cleveland, Mississippi, was found hanging from a tree on campus. Local authorities, including the medical examiner, was quick, super quick, to rule his death a suicide. But the family was not buying it. With the help of Colin Kaepernick and his organization, Know Your Rights Camp Autopsy Initiative. I broke the news earlier today with Krista Muhammad on my Willie D Live channel that the autopsy revealed Trey had a fractured skull in the back of his head. He had contusions. He had bruises on his back and buttocks, meaning that they stomped him, fam. They didn't just bust him in the back of the head and kill him. They stomped him. Now, you got a lot of uncivilized mutts out there who are mad at Colin Kaepernick, even more mad at him because they were mad at him when they first heard the news announced that he would pay for the autopsy. They were saying things like, because the official investigation had already ruled the death a suicide, that Colin Kaepernick should just leave it alone. The critics argued that Colin inserted himself into the case for publicity, suggesting that his involvement was an inflammatory move that cast undue suspicion on an official ruling. Now, why would we have undue suspicion on an official ruling? Our elected officials and law enforcement and all these people, they're so honest. Why would anybody ever doubt them?
Facts.
Yeah, fam. Some of them accuse Colin Kaepernick of paying for the autopsy to stay relevant.
Make that shit make motherfucking sense. Thank you, Willie D, from the Ghetto Boys, from the Willie D Live YouTube channel. You're absolutely right, bro. It's going to take people like Kaepernick and me and others who are not buying these bullshit ass motherfucking conclusions. Hold on. These other bullshit conclusions that this young man hung himself when he had whips. They had whipped him. Somebody caught that boy walking on campus or wherever they found him. I'm not sure. They found him on campus, but I don't know if he was on campus when he was assaulted. They hit him in the back of the head. They beat the shit out of him and they whipped him and they hung him. The police hurried up. See what it is when it comes out that they hid the real circumstances to this man's death. They're going to, when they finally admit that they did that, they're going to say the only reason we did this, because I know the playbook. The only reason we did this is because we did not want to incite a riot. They're just going to say he died. Oh, well, why is he? See, these white people are evil, man, to their core. They're evil to their core. And they'll sit there and see there'll be some people that are on our side, in a sense, that'll say, we need to have calm. We need to have decorum. We can't do what they do. We can't this, we can't that. It needs to start happening. Things need to start happening to the other side. And not just to any person. We need to start doing it to, we need to start, I hate to say this, but yeah, I'm going to say it. I don't give a fuck. Because my people are dying out there in droves or being locked up. They got all the real soldiers that can help in a broadened fight with the masses. They trying to put our real warriors in jail. Couldn't keep me in that motherfucker. They trying to keep our real warriors locked up because they know they if they was out in the street, they'd raise the fuck up on anybody out there. They killed this kid, man. So it's almost, the Bible says eye for an eye, but they try to change the narrative that, oh, God didn't mean it that way. That's exactly how he meant it. Evil needs to be stamped out. And sometimes it needs, and a lot of times, not sometimes, it needs to be stamped out by force and will. Why do you think they created the death penalty? Ask yourself that. There's only certain types of murder that fall under their purview. But when certain individuals kill people, and if your state has the death penalty, that person usually gets lethally injected, right? How come we can't feel the same way about people doing heinous crimes to other people like that? The reason is because they the ones make the laws. A little white kid gets raped or something, they'll create a law, the Christina law. If you do that, we put you to mandatory minimum of 2 million years or some stupid shit. They'll vote on it, it'll get passed, and they'll try to use that on every person of color they can. Well, all of the people there, John Benet Ramsey, a little kid that got raped or essayed, and they came up with a law for her. They didn't come up with that law to stop the real people who touch on kids, which is white men or white women, for that matter. They did that thinking they was going to hurt brown and black people. You're not going to hurt brown and black people. Not all of us. There are black pedophiles and Hispanic pedophiles, Asian pedophiles. There are. Per capita, white people are the more people that do. They're the people who do that more than anybody. It's statistically a fact. This is not made up. This ain't me just trying to say something to win points or piss off nobody. I don't give a fuck if you mad or not. If you white, go look up that your people touch on babies. But they're the first ones to deflect and say that somebody else is doing that because it pushes the narrative away from them. That's the reason why they're doing it in politics if they see a video of themselves talking about, like when Trump said he touched on pussies, they'll say it was Dr. Fake News. That's the new thing today, to where if you know you're doing something, you'll holler, no, that's bullshit. Nope. I never thought Eddie Murphy back in the 1990s doing his stand-up comedy thing where he said men could do a Jedi mind trick on their women. And the woman said, I saw you standing there with that girl. And he said, no, you didn't. I saw you. And he's like, no, you didn't. No, you didn't. He just kept denying it till the girl said, well, maybe I didn't. I never thought that was actually become a thing to where people would actually use that psychological Jedi mind trick bullshit to where you just keep saying you didn't do it, you didn't do it, you didn't do it, you didn't do it, you didn't do it. So somebody finally say, you said that shit so much, guess what? I don't think you did it. Even though they know they saw the video and everything. That's where we are. I guarantee you one thing. They start getting their asses hung, shot, caught somewhere slipping, because there'll be plenty of chances to get them. Plenty. I don't want to do it. The only time I'm going to raise up violently is if they decide that's what's up. Then I'm with it all day. I'm going to continue to try to be a citizen of not the U.S. I'm a citizen of my country. My America ain't the one y'all live in. And that's just facts. The hell is this? Getting all these fucking crazy ass messages all of a sudden. It's weird. Don't get no messages till all of a sudden I'm online and I'm doing my live. Everybody wants to send me shit. That's fucking weird.
They're back. The judge is about to issue his statement. He goes, at the outset, I want you to understand, Mr. Combs, you are not being sentenced for acquitted conduct. But under 3553, I must consider many things. Mr. Combs, you are a self-made artist who has inspired community of color.
By the way, this is Diddy being sentenced. Willie D covered that too. Diddy gone for a minute. He got 50 months. Now you do the math. It's 12 years. I mean 12 years. It's 12 months in a year. 2 years, 24 months, right? 4 years is 48 months. So Diddy got 4 years and some months. 4 years, 2 months. Yeah, 4 years, 2 months. 4 years, 2 months for basically just being a piece of shit. Don't be Diddy. If you're a black person like myself, and I'm trying to grind to get this media thing to a point where I can actually say I'm making XYZ per month, you goddamn better believe that some of that money, once I take care of my situation and what I need to take care of in my family, and there's an abundance left to save, to invest, some of that investment money will be an investment in people and seeing other people who were at the point where I was get to where I am. I promise you, my nonprofit, I have a book. I can go over here right now and show you a book that was given to me by my girlfriend about nonprofits and learning about grants and getting different things to start a nonprofit. I'll talk to my boy Best from France about my nonprofit, and hopefully he become more philanthropic in France and help more black people over there or minorities in France that don't get the same love from the French government, whether they need help or whatever. So it's a lot of shit that I'm gonna be doing. But if you're gonna get your money, get your bag and go out and throw Cassie type females down hallways in a bath towel and whoop on folk and have somebody come to somebody's house and jump on them. I guarantee you, Diddy, you have a motherfucker step to my crib, there will be news about that motherfucker on TV. Film at 11. Old man Dex shot a motherfucker at his door or in his garage studio or whatever because they come and talking shit. Or somebody got stabbed. It'll be a Mark Sanchez type situation. Motherfuckers in intensive care because he thought he could try me in my place of residence. You must be out your fucking mind. That's the reason why you're going to jail for 4 years, player. You should be using those resources to educate black people in getting their weapons. Of course, the FBI probably jail your ass even more then because they find out that you help and educate and also put legal, not illegal, legal firearms in people's hands, especially with the current president we have right now. They'd be after your ass again and try to put you in jail again. But I'd rather you go to jail for that than the shit you going to prison for right now. You and R. Kelly, dumbass. You niggas make millions and make beautiful music, and what you decide to do, you decide to fucking indulge yourself in the sick shit that you do behind closed doors, like peeing on little kids. Or having baby oil dicks and butt parties. Any of this shit gets mentioned, whether you guys did all the things they said that you did or not. Some of that shit went on. May not have been on the scale that they talking about. May even been more than what they was talking about. The idea ain't that. The idea that the shit actually happened in order for them to even have your ass in court. Instead of them having you in court for organizing black, they'll say militant organizations. Ain't nothing black militant about it. They'll label that to scare the shit out of white people. The Black Panthers weren't militant. The Black Panthers was out there trying to motherfucking feed kids in the morning with a meal program, which the Chicago police summarily broke into their program building and peed and shitted. Yeah, shitted on the food so they wouldn't be able to feed kids before they went to school. That's the country we live in. And after doing those crazy things, that's when the Black Panthers was like, we need to take up arms. We need to have people in our buildings at night guarding the stuff that we trying to do to help the people in the community. And when they took up arms, that's what they wanted them to do. Police broke in, tore the shit up, made them pick up arms just so they can say they're a militant organization. They're going to try to take over the government just to give them legal recourse. At the time, motherfucking J. Edgar Hoover bitch ass up in the FBI to summarily kill and jail all of those great people. And have Tupac's auntie run to Cuba to do a fucking, they gave her life. And she made a daring escape from prison and got all the way to Cuba, and they barred her from coming to this country because she wanted to feed poor people. That's the country you're living in. That's the country you're living in a nutshell. All I want y'all to understand is this, that I love you. I know you don't know me. I don't give a fuck. I ain't a big proponent of people. I love people on an individual basis. When people usually group up, I don't care what color they are, they become pieces of shit. Because everybody be trying to be or outdo or act like. On an individual basis, people are really cool. When you meet them one-on-one, just like George Carlin said before he died, God rest your soul, comedian George Carlin. He said he don't really like people. He like people on an individual. When you meet people just one-on-one, you have the most pleasant conversation with people sometimes, depending on who they are. But when people get into groups, that's when they become pieces of shit. It doesn't matter what color they are. I love everybody. I want all of us to succeed, because if everybody not everybody deserves success. There's somebody that probably lives in your neighborhood that you can't stand and you know ain't worth a fuck. And if they got successful and all they would do is make life even worse for people in their neighborhood, if they may have money and got a better house, or maybe they'll move from your neighborhood because they rich, but wherever they're going to move to, they're going to make that fucking neighborhood miserable. There's certain people that don't deserve nothing because they're just bad motherfucking people. And you know, everybody know who that is. But I'm going to tell you right now, I want to see everybody succeed, because the more we all succeed, the more we're going to treat each other with respect. Now, if you get money and you treat people worse, that's the type of motherfucker I don't want around me. There's no reason for you to be mad. There's no reason for you to shit on nobody or nothing if you're doing well. If anything, you should be trying to help. You shouldn't be trying to destroy. And that's how I feel about it right now. I love y'all. I'm about to get up out of here, bro. Got to make a couple moves today. This Corner Store Podcast. It's your boy OMD. Shout out to all the people in the chat. My homeboy Best here, member. Let's go. My co-host, Corner Store International Podcast. Corner Store Podcast will be on every Tuesday and Thursday. I'll try to sneak in a few episodes on other days. You'll notice the shit. Hit that thumbs up if you like this episode. Also, hit that notification bell so you know whatever my content is on. I appreciate y'all. I love y'all. Best. Shout out to my folks over in France. Miss T Mert, my homeboy Best, the Mighty Matthew, Marcus Burks, I'm sorry, not Banks, Toby 2K, Scene 13, Lil Lord Garlic, all you motherfuckers. I love all y'all. Shout out, have a great day. It's all love. I'll see y'all asses next time. Pause on I'll see your asses too, by the way.